Greetings, everyone. It's Glenn Kellaway coming to you from the basement on a beautiful Wednesday morning from Trenton, Ontario. Fresh off our live chat last night. We had a great chat. My good friend Mazzy showed up to join us at the end of it there. Well, thank you, Mazzy. Always appreciate having you on. You're welcome anytime, as far as I'm concerned. This is a contest entry from my friend, everyone's friend, Steve from All the World's a Stage. Steve disappeared for 18 months or something and is back with us where he belongs, in the vinyl community. He's got a great channel. His new channel's up to like close to 300 subscribers already. I think this is kind of a celebration of how successful it's been, and everyone's welcomed him back with open arms. He's a great guy. Please go to All the World's a Stage. Steve's having a contest, and this gives me a chance to tell you guys about my first concert experience. So I'm really enjoying this this contest. My first concert was April 2nd, 1966. So let me set this up. I became a teenager in 1966 in June. And in August of 1966, there was a single that released that kind of changed the way I was hero worshipping musicians. I was a Beatles freak. Ate, slept, drank Beatles, Beatles, Beatles. That's all I cared about in life was the Beatles. Then this song shows up on the radio in August of 1966. Last Train to Clarksville by a band called the Monkees, who were going to have a TV show. And they were smart enough, marketing, to release the single before the show started to get people excited. And this single's great. I think it's one of the great singles of the 60s, Last Train to Clarksville. Great song. There's the Cold Gems, written by Boyce and Hart. The flip side was, there it is, the flip side's Take a Giant Step, which was written by Carole King, and great blues version of this by Taj Mahal. Anyway, fell in love with the Monkees after hearing this song. Could hardly wait for the show to start. The show debuted September 12th, 1966. I was an instant Monkees freak. I'll tell you, I was starting to question who's better, the Beatles or the Monkees. I'm telling you, it got that bad. So anyway, watching the show, January 1969, this album is released. More of the Monkees. Now, I've told this story before. This is Delinquent Glenn. So I wanted this album bad. I had the debut. Debut came out in October of 66. Love the debut album. Fantastic. So this album comes out in January of 66. I have no money. And between me and a school chum, we decide to pull a big heist. We had a open mall 10, 15 minutes from our house. We walked over there, and there was a department store called Simpson's, which was a big department store at the time in Canada. And anyway, they had a record department. And when you walked into Simpson's in the lobby, there was a little thing there where you could throw a nickel or whatever it was in the machine, and you could get like a brown paper bag with Simpson's written all over it, and these kind of rope handles. And it was a pretty big bag, but big enough to hold a record and more. So we came up with this scheme that we were going to go to the record department. We were going to buy the bag. We're walking with the bag, and we're just going to casually shop around the store, and we're looking at, clothes, and we're looking all over the place, make our way over to the record department, slip 2 records into the bag, and then casually look around the store some more, maybe look at some, purses or something, just anything, just casual guys, not doing anything wrong. And then we were going to get close to the exit doors, and we were going to run like hell with these 2 records. So we're prancing along, everything's going fine. I mean, we're cool as cucumbers. We get to the doors, And we opened, there was two sets of doors to get out. We opened the first set of doors, and as soon as I put my hand on those doors, there was like a team of store detectives jumping on me. My friend, I'll just use his first name, Robert, he takes off like a shot. I mean, this guy is an Olympic athlete. Who knew? He ran so fast, it was like he was never there. And I'm down, sprawled out on the ground with these records on the floor. I got store detectives all over me, and they grab me and they take me in this little room, and they scare the crap out of me for, I don't know, half an hour. Like, I'm just like, whoa. And they made me phone my parents. Could there be anything worse? They're on the phone with my parents going, Mr. Calloway, can we got to tell you something about your son. He's a thief. And so they didn't press charges in those days. Nowadays, they just, throw you in the slammer. In those days, they scared you by calling your mom and dad. So anyway, I got home, and they were pretty good about it. But I'll tell you, it scared me straight. I never stole anything after that. From the age of 13, I've been the most honest human being you could ever meet. So that's my story. And then probably a couple weeks passed before I got the courage to ask my mom and dad for the money to actually buy the record, and they let me buy it. So that is my January 1966. Then it's announced that the Monkees are coming to Toronto. And I, not with the same friend who I pulled the heist with, another guy in my class, his name was Dave, we'll just leave it at that. Dave, anyway, I never did anything with this guy socially ever other than go to a Monkees concert. It was really weird why I didn't go with a better friend, or a bigger friend, or closer friend. But anyway, me and this guy Dave, how we ended up with tickets, I don't even remember. We must have went downtown and bought them or something. So anyway, and I don't remember how much they cost. I'm going to say $4, $3 or $4. That's what concert tickets were back then, $3 or $4. The concert was on April 2nd, 1966. I remember going down there and going in. We had pretty good seats. I think we were like in the middle of the arena, kind of like up, and then not too far from the stage, just kind of an angle from the stage. So we had pretty good seats. And the Monkees came out, and as the young girls were screaming their heads off, but you could still hear the songs. And so they played Last Train to Clarksville, opened the show, and then they did like a half a dozen other songs. I don't remember what they were. And then they did this thing where they all left the stage and they came out individually and performed individually for us. Like Mike Nesmith did the old blues song, Can't Judge a Book by Looking at the Cover, and Davy Jones did I Want to Be Free. Peter, I can't remember what Peter did, if he used to play a banjo sometimes in that. I'm having a sketchy on what Peter did that night. And Mickey did his James Brown thing with the cape, like if you've ever seen the Tammy show when James Brown falls over and they come over and they put a cape on him and they help him back, and then he shakes the cape off and he goes. Mickey had a routine like that. And then they came back on together, did 3 or 4 songs like I'm Not Your Stepping Stone and I'm a Believer and all the hits. And then they were gone. I don't think the show was 30, it might have been 30 minutes or 40 minutes. I don't think it was that long. I don't recall an opening act. I know, Hendrix opened the first few weeks of that tour. He certainly wasn't at the Toronto show. He was long gone by then. So I don't recall an opening act, but that was my first concert. The Monkees at Maple Leaf Gardens, and I'm still a big Monkees fan. So thanks for doing the contest, Steve, and this was a fun one, and you're the best, buddy. And everybody, please go to All the World's a Stage and subscribe, show Steve some love, watch his videos. He's a knowledgeable guy, got lots of records, and he's pretty cool. So take care, everyone. Have a great day. Take care.